why it's 25.
Whatever the x is and whatever the y is.
For the radius, are we talking about the radius? The radius equals r squared, so it has to be, since the radius is 5, 5 squared is 25. That's why it's 25, not 5. You've got to square the radius for that formula. Okay? And then real quickly, did
I don't
you,
remember
Put in my
the
locker.
rules for I. Like, I know that there's a bunch of them, like, if
I-
it's squared.
I think you just probably basically need to know that I squared is -1. So if you do this one real quick,
Like, 1 minus I over 1 minus I is just 1, isn't it?
it is, but if you remember back when you did these, you couldn't have I in the denominator, so we multiplied it by its conjugate. Okay, and when you do the top, you get 1 minus I. When you do the bottom, what happens when it's the conjugate? The middle term cancels. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
So you just multiply the first, which would be 1, and then I times negative I would be minus I squared. You remember what I squared is? -1. So minus a -1 would be 1 plus 1, which is 2.
Okay.
Just remember I squared is -1. All right. Sir? Well, can I give you one more? Because I think you could, or a couple of them that are real quick to explain.
Yep.
50 was 0. Did you get 0? Do you understand
I
that?
was thinking.
None of them had to play the same because there's 20
That's what I was
students.
thinking.
50 was f.
50 was F. They both, because there was more students than the total number, they didn't have to play, you could have had them all playing different things.
That's what I was thinking.
Now, if it said 16, if it said there were 16 students, then at least one student would have had to play the same. Do you follow that? That would be, okay. And then 51, if you look at 51, it should have been A. And the reason is if you subtract 5 from both sides, X goes away. And then you get 3 is greater than 5. Is 3 greater than 5? That's when it's an empty set. If the X's canceled and it was true, still, like say it said 5 is greater than 3, then it would be all real numbers. Okay? And then 50, 52,
Isn't there an equation for that?
there is, okay, with diagonals. Now, it's best, you probably won't remember the equation, but if you do this, let's use a hexagon. Okay, if you start to draw